Okay. Mr. Sanwo.
Prevention.
Well,
No, you wanted to say something about
the surge.
Power surge.
yes, about the surge and the prevention goes together. First, about the surge, what we do advocate is that, you see, most often we don't even know that the surge does not ordinarily affect the meter, but it affects the room. And in the rooms, what do you have? You have your sockets, you have your equipment. And so we advocate when we go out on enlightenment that while you are leaving your room, make sure you switch off all unused equipment. The radio, the fan, the AC. Some will even say, I want my room to be cool until I come back. And they leave the AC on. The AC will overwork. And sometimes there is no PACN or power. So by the time PACM returns power, the inferior equipment used are there, and they cannot withstand the length years, like he mentioned. So it ignites. So that's why we advocate that. While you are leaving home, make sure all appliances are switched off. Put them off totally. And not just putting off, remove from the socket, and place the plug down. When you come back, you plug back, put everything.
Please just hold your thoughts. Let's take this call. We'll come back to you on prevention. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead, make your contribution.
What I wanted to say is one of your analysts actually made a very solid analysis of what safety and the awareness should be. Basically, he said, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Oh dear.
Hello?
Wow.
Okay, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So go ahead.
He said something about, he answered your question when you said people that are already living in a particular house, and how are they able to prevent fire, or what are they going to do to control power surge? What I want to say is, he said something about the standard organization doing their work effectively. The stabilizer you have in the market, the power voltage control you have in the market, and a lot of these things you have in the market are substandard. They are all substandard. So no matter what your questions are about prevention is, that particular area of creating standard and maintaining standard as a safety precautionary measure is high. We should pay more emphasis on that. The awareness is there. For example, when you make safety like a woman and a man talking about relationship, it becomes an everyday conversation. Sure. In schools, just like in some primary schools, you beat the red light, your son will tell you, Daddy, you're beating the red light. So it starts from the grassroots. People get to know. People talk about it. People reason about it. Then prevention comes in. It becomes an everyday conversation. If you look at it, for example, I'll tell you one thing. In developed countries, when the fire truck is moving, fire truck does not stay on the side of the road. It stays on the middle of the road to have direct access and speedy assessment to where the disaster is. But in Nigeria, when the safety truck is coming, or the fire truck is coming, the fire truck tries to maneuver a vehicle because they don't know that they have to clear and create paths for this truck to move on. So there are a lot of consciousness, a lot of things that we have to do to create this consciousness, to create this awareness, and to make people understand that disaster can be preventable. It's not when it has come or it has happened that we now start running around. And, for example, let me give you, go to most houses in Lagos. You've lived in Lagos and we live in Lagos. They don't have exit. They don't have exit. You build a big house, there is no exit behind. So when there is disaster, people are trapped. You go to the factory, there is no exit. When there is disaster, people are trapped. So that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're calling from Calabar, you're telling us about houses in Lagos. What about houses in Calabar?
Okay. There was something, he raised an issue about the fire engine and possibly the ambulance as well. We don't have that culture in this country that once you hear the siren of an ambulance or the fire truck,
shift,
you immediately stop and get out of the way for it to move.
And they're supposed to stay. He says they drive in the middle of the road.
Yeah. So let me ask
I was going to ask the fireman to answer
we'll get to the fireman. Let me ask Akpong first. What should be done about that? We need to develop that culture. Because a fire engine going somewhere means lives are in danger. An ambulance with its siren on means lives are in danger. So we need to create a path for that life to be saved, or those lives to be saved. What do you think we can do about getting that culture into our people?
You see, I always like to place emphasis on, use the Ebola case as an example. How did people get to know about hand sanitizers that everybody now had? How did people get to know they shouldn't give handshakes to people anyhow? How did people get to know all of these things? Awareness, more and more advocacy has to be done. We need to get to a level where we have so infused it into people that if for instance, there was an advert that was done in Lagos State where a small child saw someone throwing a sachet of pure water on the road, and the child got out of the car, picked it, and disposed of it properly. And then that was like telling the adult that look at what a little child can do, and you, the adult, you did this. It has to get to a level where it's been so advocated that if you're seen doing the wrong thing, you look like the odd one out. But you see, in the society we have now, the wrong things are actually what people are praised for. So we need a lot of advocacy.
How can you get the Danfo driver to give way when an ambulance is wanting
exactly.
to go
they
through?
have, all of these persons have unions. All of them have unions. They have places where we can meet them. They have a set of people that can get them to do the right things. In these places, we need to meet them there. We need to talk to them. We need to, if possible, enforce it with a fine, so that these people get to know that, look, if this guy is coming and you don't give way, you are the odd one out.
Okay, Mr. Kindele.
Yeah, I thank you very much. Just to continue from where I just stopped. Actually, the state government and all its relevant agencies, you want to bear me out, has been on this advocacy and sensitization en masse. Even on flooding that we have not mentioned, what you hear jingles, advertisements, and what have you, sensitizing our people to please abide by these simple precautionary habits to ensure we have a free and safe environment. Just like you have said earlier, that even from Monday, from Ujuelegba, these ambulances are going out. I've just shown you mine also, that we are meeting, town hall meetings, we are having meetings with associations to please abide by this. And I have been appealing, and once again, I want to use this medium to appeal, that when you hear a siren, for God's sake, it is not Mr. Governor coming. It is an emergency responder, be it a fire service, a license bus, all license officials moving to ensure maybe there's a collapsed building, or even lab car. See, we all work as a synergy, a seamless, even the police, the civil defense, the Red Cross. We all work as a team to ensure when there's an emergency, even when there's a collapsed building, I must have a fireman on ground.
So the only people that use sirens in Lagos are the emergency responders, not the public servants.
Not the public servants. When you hear a siren, it is an emergency somewhere. Who knows? Whether it is your family, your business entity, but what do we experience over time? In fact, it may shock you to say, if I tell you that even in the last few weeks, the commercial drivers do comply. Because in our vehicles, we have what even used to speak out. Please, we are an emergency, give us the right of way. We do this, fire doors, license bus do the same. But the private motorists are the main concern that I can say that are yet to please allow us free access. The yellow buses.
Mr. Akindele,
yes, madam.
Let me just say something.
Yeah.
That the private people probably are used to the ambulance with nobody inside, blowing the siren and wanting free access.
Thank you, madam. That's why I said, for over time now, I can say this about Lagos, that when you hear
things have changed.
Things have changed.
Okay.
We are in a changed environment, in a changed system, and a changed administration. When you hear a siren,
please
a blow,
give way.
Please give way. It is not, if I am going out, even in my Lasema branded vehicle, except I am on emergency, I can never put on anything.
Okay, but that's you. Yeah. There are other
the same thing
military and paramilitary organizations that when their bosses are moving, they turn on the siren.
Potential root cause that the emergency people are not given access way in an emergency situation. The mentality of Nigerians,
too many fakes,
is too many sirens. So when government came with the fact that no siren and a public officer was used as an example, people adjust for a while. But that we still need a proper enforcement to see that if you hear a siren and it is real, you know this is a real siren. So even people that use it when they are not supposed to use it, it comes back to hit you. That when you now in an emergency situation and it's your own relations, you see you could not have an access to it because you caused it. Because I don't give way when I hear sirens of private vehicles.